Hello YouTube, this is Josh, and this is the Pantek brothers. Welcome. I am doing another Let's Play overview of another racing title. This is Project Cars for the PC, obviously. And this falls into the vein of kind of sim arcade. Not quite full simulation like Assetto Corsa was. But let's go through. You can practice a race weekend, do some online racing, time trials, and a career. So what this lets you do is go from karting all the way to LMPs and everything in between. So you can kind of choose your way through a career mode and go pick like the GT route or go through the open wheel route and ultimately end up with the LMP. So let's take a look at some of the tracks. There are some circuit racing tracks, and there's some ones that are point to point. So this Azure Coast is one that is just from point A to point B. Then you have your normal, Bathurst, Brands Hatch, Cadwell. This California track is another one. Donington Park, Dubai, Hockenheim, Le Mans, Laguna Seca, Nordschleife, Nürburgring, Road America, Silverton, Watkins Glen, just to name a few. So we're going to go with Brands Hatch Indy, and we have a Ford Focus here right now, but we can go over some of the cars. So you got everything from shifter carts, Aston Martins, Audi, some BMWs, Bentley, Caterham, Ford, the Formula A, B, and C, so GP3, 2, and Formula 1. Some Lotus, both vintage and newer, McLaren, Mercedes, Pagani, Renault. Roof, they do not have the Porsche license, and you will also notice a distinct lack of Ferrari, Maserati, Lamborghini. So let's get started with our practice and see how that goes. I think I'll probably do a couple laps and then show you guys a replay like I did last time.
Go, go, go.
So the visuals in Project Cars are probably the best compared to Assetto Corsa and R-Factor 2, iRacing, and the likes of others. Definitely has the visual fidelity beyond that. So let's get started with our race, or our practice rather. So one thing you'll notice is the Project Cars are a little more forgiving in driving. You can throw them around a little easier, and they definitely don't react quite as realistically, but you can definitely get yourself sideways and turned around if you're not paying attention. By default, traction control, stability control are all on. There's no nice little sliders where you can turn a percentage. It's either on or off here. But I have to say, overall though, Project Cars is definitely fun to race and drive. Oh, and we are in the marbles. One thing I didn't mention in the Assetto Corsa video, I'd like to mention now is a force feedback. I think Assetto Corsa is definitely better. Granted, keep in mind I am playing on an Xbox One gamepad, so take that with a grain of salt. I don't have a proper wheel and pedals set up, so I can't really comment on the full extent, but that seems to be the general consensus online as well, with R-Factor 2 being the best of breed when it comes to force feedback. But if you're looking for visuals and something fun, Project Cars I think gives you the best of both worlds. And again, keep in mind I'm not running on a monster machine. It's just an i5, 16 gigs of RAM, and a GTX 960. So nothing too crazy. Go cycle through a couple more cameras. And we'll call it a couple laps, and I'll show you guys the replay. So you guys get a little bit better idea of the visuals here. Like I said, it's sim arcade, so the handling not as realistic. The weight of the cars, you can throw them around a little bit better. They seem to stick pretty well to the track. You can definitely break them loose. I think you'll see that around a couple of these corners. Like I said, if you're really looking for something fun, I think Project Cars is where it's at. And with the wide variety of cars that it offers you, everything from modern LMP cars, GT, to historic Formula One, and some other historic GT cars as well. And they also have something like this, which is a little bit more like a street car. And the, assortment of tracks is varied pretty well. It's not limited to just those racing circuits. You saw that there's a couple nice point-to-point races, and with the visual, it's just really pretty to just, grab a car and just go for a drive through those tracks. You don't have to necessarily actually race to have fun and enjoy the eye candy. So, if I had to pick one racing game, I don't know if I could. Just if I could only have one. Only because there's things that I really like about Project Cars. There's things I really like about Assetto Corsa, and some other titles, like Forza series. One thing that I really like is customization, which both Project Cars and Assetto Corsa don't offer. So if they don't have the car that you're wanting to drive, and the setup, and the trim that you're looking for, then you're not going to get it. But if there was a racing game that offered, on the PC specifically, the customization like you get in Forza series, with the visuals of Project Cars and maybe the handling of Assetto Corsa, then we'd be talking. So, my next video, I think I'm going to stick with this racing and do another one. And I hope you guys enjoyed these quick overviews of both Assetto Corsa and now Project Cars. And I will see you guys in the next video.